Are you suffering from chronic indecisiveness? Do you go to the movie theater without planning to watch a certain movie and stand in front of all the posters, drooling while having a hard time picking what you should watch and what you should skip this time? Okay, maybe this is a tad too specific here. Let's reverse a bit. These questions will mostly be answered with a yes, if we are being honest here, buddy. There are obviously some things that deserve our hype and attention more than others, but with all the streaming, all the advertising, all the trailers, and the scoops, and the social media shenanigans, you might not notice your next favorite movie as soon as possible. And now you missed its premiere. Now it is doing badly at the box office. Now the creator is being blamed for that. And now all the sequels and the ideas that may have spawned from this work of art will be canceled by an out-of-touch executive. Well, I have brought to you today 6 whole movies that you probably should be excited about. Some upcoming fun stuff for casual viewers, and some stuff for the sickos. Here is my selection for 6 upcoming movies you should be excited about, and they are in no particular order. So, let's start with something light. The first movie we have here is Superman, which will be released on July 11th. Superman is supposed to be the first live-action project of the new DCU, which, as you may already know, is supposed to be the rebooted version of the abysmal DC Extended Universe. The first teaser trailer dropped, and it instantly captured a lot of the soul that was missing from the previous iteration of Superman. I don't know how to describe it yet because the movie is not out, but this shit made me feel hopeful, and that's all I needed from a trailer about a Superman movie. It also has a superdog, which is always a plus. However, not everything is peachy. This whole thing was laced with controversy after controversy since the initial casting was revealed, and trust me when I tell you that each one is dumber than the one that came before it. Also, all of them are very inconspicuously started by Snyderverse fans who are bitter that no one liked the vision of their favorite director. Like we are talking about them ironically, criticizing one shot from the teaser trailer where Superman's eyes look kinda weird. And don't even get me started on the casting controversy, because Henry Cavill was replaced. I like the guy, but can we wait for the film to judge if he was truly the best Superman? And spoiler alert, he really wasn't, and it wasn't his fault. I am all for internet trolling, and generally acting reactionary if the end goal was some laughs, but I also know this is beyond just that, because these people actually believe themselves. The second film we have on this list is 28 Years Later, which is supposed to release on June 20th. This film should not need any introductions, but then I remember that the last sequel was released all the way back in 2007. That's like a decade ago, and I just know that some of y'all were born after that year and watching this video right now, so of course you won't remember shit. So, just to keep it short, the first film was called 28 Days Later, and it was set in the UK after a zombie apocalypse was contained there. And we are not talking about your daddy's zombies, these bitches run. Anyway, it was a really good film that received a really good sequel titled 28 Weeks Later, and then it was in development hell, getting cancelled and restarted time and time again until the present time. It was certainly not a pioneer in the zombie genre, but it was one of the best to ever adapt the idea. Will the film be worth waiting another 28 decades later? The third film we have on this list is the sequel to Zootopia, simply titled Zootopia 2. Wait, I swear I am not a furry. Give me a chance to explain myself, man. I am an objective person here, okay? A good film is a good film, and Zootopia was a pretty good popcorn film with furry themes. It is not my fault the creators are furries, and they made a decent film. The narrative was decent and actually engaging for a movie that sounded so generic at the time. The action, animation, and music all hit the right notes for the general audience. The characters were lively and charming. And no, I am not affiliated with any groups that have an intimate obsession with a certain cartoon rabbit. No way, no how, sir. That is not my thing. Moving on, a good film is receiving a sequel, so maybe you should check out Zootopia 2 when it comes out on November 26th. This is the last time I talk about a furry film. Anyway, the fourth film on this list is going to be the sequel to the animated furry film titled Bad Guys. Now, is this recommendation just for the bit, or am I lost in the sauce? I don't know, sue me. There is not much to say really about this film. The first one was a sleeper success, where everyone cringed at the trailer, but the final product turned out to be decent and charming to a degree. That degree being getting greenlit for a sequel because the people demand it. Another fun, casual thing that will be released on August 1st. Now, enough of that goofy furry shit. It's time for something truly for the sickos. Or, if you are not a furry, then I apologize for keeping you stuck in the sicko zone for 3 movies now, LOL. This next movie though needs no introduction. And even though the last project from this franchise was 14 years ago, engagement farmers on the internet, and obviously the occasional true fan, are still keeping this shit alive with clips and gifs to shock everyone with gore. I am of course talking about Final Destination, baby. The franchise is going to have another movie because the listen to the fans. Obviously, it is not just a ploy by a film industry that is devoid of life and soul, chasing after any crumb of profits by remaking every movie ever, and releasing sequels that no one asked for to stories that were pretty much done. Oh, look at me! I went on a little bit of a tangent. Excuse my rambling. Final Destination: Bloodlines is coming out on May 16th. Check it out if you're a sicko who longs for something gory, but doesn't want to acknowledge it and tell your friends, so they don't think you are weird. Actually, just go ahead and bring your girlfriend to watch the film with. You are going to have a great time. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Fantastic Four: First Steps, which will be coming on July 25th. So, a beloved superhero group that have been adapted 2 times already, with both times flopping. A franchise that is long past its peak days and is now chasing nostalgia to get even the smallest of reaction from their fanbase. And a fanbase that is so large and saturated that opinions get lost in the mix, and the prevailing thought of the studio being bad and cringe takes over, even when the studio releases something that is actually good. Yeah, this movie definitely does not have any high stakes, and there is definitely no pressure for it to actually be good and kickstart a whole new era for Marvel. Honest talk though, if I speak about the blight of the MCU right now, and how the problem is really more nuanced than just studio was good, but now studio is bad, I would probably keep you here for a whole day, but that is a topic for another discussion. The Fantastic Four film looks promising, however. The trailer hit all the right notes, just like the Superman one. The aesthetic was on point, the acting was on point, the costumes, the music, the visuals, everything was looking really good. The movie also has this standalone feeling that doesn't make it carry the sometimes very unnecessary baggage of being a part of a larger and connected universe. Something that holds back a lot of Marvel movies, alongside the bad writing, of course. Anyway, I personally feel slight hope for this film, and that's why I think you should watch it when it comes out. And that's coming from someone that hasn't watched any Marvel movie in the theater since No Way Home. So it is a big deal. So, this is my list. 6 is a weird number for a full list, but it is my list and I do whatever the hell I want with it. Just kidding, love you. Anyway, these were 6 movies that I was personally mildly interested in and excited for. It is also a list of movies I think you should give a chance to, in my humble opinion. So go ahead, catch a movie or two from this list, and if something turns out to be shit, I have one thing to tell you. It is what it is. You thought I was gonna apologize? Think again, sucka. Have a good one.